Hey, it's Mike Gretzinger, the agronomy manager at Farming Smarter. Today we've been out here with students from Lethbridge Polytechnic. They're within a special crops class, and Christy Vavra's brought them out here for part of that class and learning experience. And we're doing kind of a deep dive into all the things that we have going on with the hemp. This morning we had a quick overview of the entire hemp industry, the 4Fs: feed, food, fiber, and fractions. We talked about, the differences between some of the male and female plants, and the monoecious versus dioecious examples, and then looked at kind of specifically the research trials that we're doing and what we're trying to achieve. So you can see we've been out collecting all these biomass samples with the students and talking about all the various research projects we have going on. There's two research projects that we're working on. One is the hemp retting behind me there, and the other one's the hemp seed treatment. And so for that retting trial, we've got a couple an early and a late harvest. We've got a couple different seeding rates, and then we're doing some various fall retting, augmented retting, and spring retting treatments. And so the whole idea is to kind of take our field work to the next level. We're going to be sending samples up to Initech, Alberta, and be getting some more detailed data on the fiber strength, tensile strength, and things like that, and kind of more in depth what the industry is looking for, and not necessarily just for farmers. So it's pretty exciting to be a part of that project. And then this study beside me here, we're just doing some prelim work on some different seed treatments. So we've really got challenges with emergence in hemp, and we're looking at whether or not any of those seed treatments, stubble regimes, kind of play a part in improving that emergence, especially when hemp is a really expensive seed. We've got, sometimes as low as 30% emergence in hemp, which is just, pretty crappy when you're paying for 100% of it. So it'd be nice to get a lot better stands. So we're looking at some of the factors that would help us get better hemp stands. And students are here. It's a really great partnership that we have. We have a few different things that we bring them out for, and it's really nice to kind of give them a learning experience, get a feel for what they're learning in their classes, some of their backgrounds, get them interested in research, get them interested in kind of the industry, and show them some of the different things that are going on in southern Alberta. So it's really good exposure for them. It's very hands-on, it's very practical, and it's a lot of fun to do. Today we're taking hemp biomass samples. So what that means is within this retting trial, before we swath everything down, we want to get some data for what the actual yields are going to be. We've already done that at the early timing, which was about 5 or 6 weeks ago already now, and this is the late timing. So this timing, instead of targeting the kind of flowering date where you usually have kind of peak fiber, this is our seed maturity date. So now this would simulate what a farmer might do if they're also trying to capture all the grain as well as the fiber yield. So we're going to cut up a small section within the middle of the plot. So we've got a meter stick. They're going to cut 4 1-meter rows, basically be a meter squared within the middle of the plot. And then we're going to take that and figure out what the overall biomass of each plot was. That just helps us ignore some of the edge effects from the hemp, which is, you can see some of the curving from the edges here. So that will mitigate that. And then we're going to figure out kind of our total tonnage, and then we can compare. So these trials, actually both trials happen here in Lethbridge, but we've also got locations at Initech, Alberta, Vegreville, Alberta, so they're a partner on the project, and then Sarda Ag Research up in the Peace Country as well. And so we've got pretty widespread across the province. There's a lot more fiber industry in those areas, and so we can use that kind of differences to look at. We can use the data to look at regional differences. In the past, we've seen that there maybe isn't as big an effect on the cutting date for somewhere like Vegreville, but in southern Alberta, maybe just because of our more southern location, we still do get a little bit of a bump on our fiber the later we go in the season, but that doesn't necessarily tell us what the implications are for the retting and the processing side. So it'll be really interesting to kind of balance those things out and get the rest of the data together for that.